everybody, welcome back to Card Curiosity, where we try to find the best possible ways to make money in the sports card world. And today we have somewhat of a, for me, exciting mailbag video, and it might get a little bit nerdy on the numbers side because we're going to just kind of describe what our mindset is for the next few months to try and make money buying individual cards. And we try to identify players that have upside over the next 3 to 6 months, and we try to combine that with the possibility of grading these cards that we find and hopefully getting a PSA 10 on them, because that will help us juice the returns that we get here. So we're going to talk a little bit about particular players today, show you some cards that we like and that we're trying to get our hands on when we can, and then maybe even get you some numbers on potential outcomes that we kind of expect here as we go through it. So I will start here first with this package. And you know, I've kind of had my eye on Mr. Burrow here for a little while. You know, he was hurt, got injured last football season. His cards have kind of come down, and so we've been looking for rookie cards of Burrow. And because, you know, he came to the league in 2020, it's going to be tough to find raw cards and grade them at this point because they've been out for so long. Any card that was probably worthy of getting a 10 has probably already been graded. And so really the only thing you can do, in my opinion, is to try and find decent rookie cards of his that are trading at a price that's much less than what they were towards the beginning of the last NFL season. So this particular card we were able to get for right around $90, including shipping. And so we're out $90 to buy this. And if we look at the last 12 months, during the summer, this card was trading above $150, and towards the start of the NFL season, it was trading right around $150. And so, you know, if Joe Burrow comes back, if he starts to, we start to see some buzz around him, he's throwing the football again, and the Bengals are maybe they make some moves here in the offseason to improve the team. Maybe they have some good draft picks here coming up in the next couple months. If there's any kind of buzz here and Burrow starts to look good, I think we could see this card jump, and it should be, I think, a fairly easy way to create, you know, turn this $90 card into, you know, $150 and, you know, pocket 50 to 75% from this particular trade. And there's other Burrow cards out there. Sometimes you just got to look a little harder to find them. And so we may pick up a few more here and there, but that was kind of our first idea there. Next, I'm going to show you one that is baseball related. And so Elly De La Cruz, this is his Bowman First Sapphire from 2022. And this is a card, again, we got to try to find phenomenal players. And Elly took the world by storm last summer. His cards have kind of died off here, of course, because baseball isn't in the news right now. But we were able to grab this for about $80. And the trouble with the 22 card, again, it's a little bit older, so you may not be able to find many that are gradable, but this one looks pretty good. And, you know, I think we bought it on eBay, so you can only do so much looking at the pictures on eBay, but the centering looks good. I'm hoping there's no scratches or dinged up corners. But, you know, this $80 card, if we're able to send that in and get the thing graded, that sold just in the last few days, a PSA 10 of Elly De La Cruz. This exact card sold for just shy of $300. And so it's not even baseball season yet. You know, he's not even on the field. We only have spring training. And so, you know, once we have some buzz generated in the baseball world, if we get a 10, this $80 could very easily sell for, worst case scenario, a $250 card, maybe upside of $350 to $400 if he generates the same kind of hype that he had last year. So that I think is a pretty safe bet as long as it is gradable. Next, we have a Drake May autograph. This is the North Carolina quarterback. He's projected to go in the top 3 of the NFL draft here very soon. I believe it's in April. And so we're kind of getting close to the deadline of being able to buy NFL players and play the NFL draft here if we want to get them graded. And so the Drake Maye was, that was a purchase. We grabbed it for about 127, 128, and I believe, let me see if I can find a Drake Maye. If you get a PSA 10 on Drake on this particular card, you're going to end up with something like $250. And so you can turn your 130 into 250 and with a PSA 10. If it doesn't look like it's going to be a PSA 10, then we'll probably just hold it until the draft. And, you know, the nice thing is that these particular cards, they do tend to gem pretty well, as long as, again, we'll look for scratches, we'll look for corners, and just kind of see if it's worth the shot of getting a 9 or a 10. And then I expect this card to go up a fair amount come draft time, you know, especially if he goes higher than people think. You know, he's already projected to be top 5. So right now, here I have the numbers pulled up. So just a couple days ago at the end of January, a Drake Maye PSA 10 went for $280, so $280. So we can turn 130 into 280 right now if we get a 10, and we don't even have any draft type right now. So once the draft type and the buzz comes around, man, another one of these sold for $390 a week ago. I mean, you're talking potentially a $400 to $500 card if we end up getting a PSA 10. We only paid $130 for it. So those are kind of upside situations we are looking for. Next, we'll do the same thing here. So all these cards I bought from the same seller on eBay, and he was really good about communicating and combined the shipping and sent everything to me quick. And so yeah, I'll just run through these. I ended up spending, what did it cost? I want to say like 220. So all these cards, I think I have 9 of them. 3, 6, 9. 9 cards here. $220 is what it cost me. And so let's run through this. Marvin Harrison Jr., best receiver in college football. He's going to be drafted in the top 5, maybe top 2 or 3. And his cards are hot. And they will get hotter, I believe, as the draft approaches. And so right now, this Bowman first card, you know, you buy this for a couple bucks, you grade it for 20, and a PSA 10 sells for 50 on eBay, 50 to 60 right now. Draft time, that could get close to 100, I bet. So potentially turning $5 into 80 plus. Here we have the same card, but they call this the X-Fractor. You can see the little shimmer that they have on there. This is typically, you know, a $10 to $15 card, and these X-Fractors, one of them just went for $120 on eBay, PSA 10. So turn $10 into 120. That's a fantastic potential there. Next we have I got 3 of the Marvin Harrison Jr. Sapphire cards. So the Sapphire is a little more high end. It's better looking and more desirable, more rare, if you want to say that. And so there's no PSA 10s that have been sold on this yet, but I would expect a PSA 10 here. Again, you can buy these ones for around 15 to 20 bucks. I think a PSA 10 of the Bowman First Sapphires of Marv here will go easily for $100 or more, maybe up to $150 around draft time. So we have 3 of those with a lot of potential upside as well. Next, we got kind of a different strategy here. Like Blake Corum is not going to be a high-end draft pick, but there's a lot of demand in Michigan for this guy, and so you don't necessarily have huge upside coming from the draft, but if it's a nice enough card that you can grade, since they just won the national championship, this particular card could go for a decent amount of money after you grade it. So one just went for around 120 bucks, and so for, you know, the $50 we got it for, 50 or 60 bucks. If you can turn it into 150, that would be a great flip as well. Next, we have kind of some guys that we're more looking at for next year. So the timetable here is going to be quite a bit longer than just the NFL draft. But basically, this card here, Carson Beck, this is a refractor. It's out of 499. His autograph, he's Georgia's quarterback, and he's projected to be a stud next year, and coming out for the NFL draft next year should be a top 10 pick, we think. And so we buy this card, we grade it, and if we get a 10 immediately, the 10s are selling for 150, and it's not even draft time, it's not even college season. You know, come college season, if Carson Beck, you know, balls out and plays out of his mind and Georgia is good like they always are, we could see the value of this card jump to 200, 250 or so, especially if he's going to be a Heisman contender. And then finally, we got 2 Travis Hunters. These are the cheapest ones we got. You can get them around $5 or less. These are sapphires. And this is more of a flyer, not as much of a sure thing, but if you remember the hype that Colorado had with Deion Sanders, Shadir Sanders, at the beginning of the football season in 2023, Travis Hunter, he's a two-way player, receiver and defender, and he's very good. And so this could be either a buy and grade and sell in the early football season of 2024 when there's hype again around Colorado, or it could be a draft pick play. He could be a top 10 draft pick as well. So in all cases, all of these cards, minus the Joe Burrow's already graded, but we're hoping to grade these. We're hoping to get 10s. If we do, even if we get 10s on half of these cards, it'll be super profitable for us here. And we're gonna get these sent in as quick as possible. Try to hit the draft for most of them, and yeah, that's our play right now. Players like Marvin, Drake May, Elly De La Cruz. You might be a little late on Elly, but there's still some opportunities out there. You know, Caleb Williams going in the NFL draft, things like that. That's what we're looking for. That's how we plan to make money, flipping these single cards here. Hope you enjoyed this. If you have any questions, let us know in the comments. Until next time, stay curious.